Coming up next, AMSOIL Championship Snocross and the Pertec Snocross National, off and running at Canterbury Park in Shakopee, Minnesota. Are you ready for round 2? The championship chase is on, and AMSOIL Championship Snocross starts now.
Canterbury Park in Shakopee, Minnesota is known for horse racing. Tonight, horsepower of a different kind on the snow. Welcome to round 2 of AMSOIL Championship Snocross and the Pertec Snocross National. Paul Small, Haley Shanley alongside. Haley, in round number 1, we saw Elias Ischel open up a title defense with a pro win, and he could very well double up tonight.
That's right, erasing any doubt Elias Ischel with that round 1 win. See what he does.
Let's go down to Josie Christian, the 3rd member of our broadcast team.
Here with our defending champion, Elias Ischel. Coming off of last year, you have a completely new team, so talk about that adjustment.
Yeah, I'm excited for this year. The mechanics work really hard for me, and I think I'm in a good spot, and I'm excited for what we can do.
Pro qualifying action is on the starting line, and this is a stacked lineup.
I know one rider, many of them, but one in particular is the number 8, Hunter Patnode, who's looking to back up his podium from the previous round.
Oh, you could see the whole shot get ripped there, plain as day. As the pack charges down toward the AMSOIL finish line jump, Aki Palaya nailed that start. He's got the lead.
That was one of the cleanest hole shots we have seen yet this weekend and this season, obviously. Aki Palaya bringing some heat here as they turn into the second turn.
And there's Ischel already trying to work on the number 2 spot, which is occupied right now by Francis Peltier, who just ate a face full of that snow roost. Here comes Elias, the Viking rocket, charging up the right side of the U.S. Air Force backstretch, and he's going to find his way into the number 2 spot.
Francis Pelletier right there. He is a proven podium contender here in the pro class, multi-time qualifier winner, I believe. And he's feeling a little beaten up from yesterday, just a little bit sore, but nothing major.
Meanwhile, he's got company. Hunter Patnode did not get the greatest of starts, was mid-pack at the end of lap number 1, has charged his way up now into the 4th position, and he is threatening Pelletier. Only a sled length or so behind him. Oh, there's contact between the two, and that's going to let Oscar Norm slide through on the inside. Here comes Jacob Yerk on the 727. Boy, business picked up in a hurry.
That is for sure. Hunter Patnode, he saw an opening and he had to seize the moment. As he there is assuming the lead, makes the pass on Oscar Norm. Can he make it stick?
Whoa, and Oscar got all sorts of sketchy sideways. See Jacob Yerk almost take each other down. They'll finally get straightened out behind Pelletier. Yerk crossing over here on the inside. Meanwhile, Patnode riding away now as he will move up into the 3rd position behind Elias Ischel and Aki Palaya.
I'm very eager to see what Elias Ischel is going to be able to bring in tonight's round 1 qualifier. The performance we had seen from him last night is he wasn't hanging back, but he also wasn't charging to the front there. So it's hard to tell, was there an issue with the sled? Was he adapting, or was he just not trying to throw it away? Because again, he knows that he can perform in that final, but we're looking at the chase here for 2nd place.
Yeah, Hunter Patnode has caught Elias Ischel, and he's going to give him fits here over the final couple of laps in this pro qualifier. Hunter banging out to the outside edge of the skidoo section there, barely staying on track as Ish will fire it down through the Pertec rhythms, back across the AMSOIL finish line. Couple laps left to go. You see Patnode reaching up there, grabbing a tear off to get some fresh vision as they both take the inside line through the Polaris corner, chase each other down, and just ahead of Ischel, there's Aki Palaya, so the gap has narrowed by about half a second here.
And you'll see Elias Ischel looking over his shoulder. He can hear Hunter Patnode. He's just trying to see how much breathing room he has out there, and it's not much, especially with how aggressive and with how much tenacity Hunter Patnode's been putting forth.
Elias Ischel in that second spot. Had a pair of thirds 1 round ago in his qualifiers and may not have been considered a favorite for the final. Got up into third place and then picked his way forward. And by the halfway point of the pro final, had found himself up at the front of the field. It was a classic ride from the Viking Rocket. Here's your race leader, Aki Palaya. Final lap underway as he looks to pick up this qualifier win.
Aki Palaya, of course, signed for the first 2 race weekends with Bel Air Racing Skidoo. Contact made as they enter the backstretch in that right-hand turn.
Whoa, and Patno was trying to squeeze Ischel off the track there, off that inside lane. The gambit didn't work. Now he's trying to power his way to the inside. There's contact between the two, and they're both down in the corner. Wow, calamity here on the final lap. Patno rides away. Ischel has not righted the sled yet. Aki Palaya will come around here and go on to an uncontested win in this pro qualifier, and it looks like Hunter Patno is going to finish in the 3rd position as Francis Pelletier was able to get by and move up into 2nd. Let's take a look at what happened here between Hunter Patno and Elias Ischel. Watch Hunter on the black sled trying to come up on the inside. Elias doesn't know he's there, turns the corner, bam! Both of them down in a heat.
When the Pertec National returns, it's go time for the Pro Light class. Can the young Canadian racer Jordan LaBelle continue his fast start, or will Carson Allred and Evan Dowd step up? But first, let's step into another AMSOIL garage.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Jake Yerk with All Finish Racing. We're at the race shop here in West Fargo, North Dakota. I figured we'd give you guys a little tour. This is my section here, and Benham's on the end, and then Wyatt too. So, yeah, we got the race shop together pretty quick with some new toolboxes and everything, and the mechanics have been working in here, and they're liking it a lot. So, yeah, this is the teammates, and then this is kind of the rest of it. The practice rig. This will be Anson and Wyatt's race rig as well. Definitely a nice rig, and yeah, so we got some more sleds in today, like I said. So we're gonna start tearing into those quick. A lot of rear skids and skis. So semi usually parks right there. So it was cool to show you guys around. Hope you liked it. We'll see y'all at the races.
AMSOIL Championship Snocross on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by AMSOIL. Runs on freedom. By the U.S. Air Force. Full-time, part-time, in or out of uniform. Join us. And by Makita. Experience Makita cordless outdoor power equipment. Rule the outdoors.
Here's a look at the Makita Power Tower, where the crews check out the racing action from the infield. Makita, the official power tool of AMSOIL Championship Snocross.
The eyes in the sky, the racer communications going down from the Makita Power Tower. Well, the talk and the chatter on these radios is these race machines. So let's catch up with the Warner Racing crew at their shop in Minnesota to see more of the tools of the trade and learn more about these race machines.
We're going to look at the brace that we have on the rear skid. We have a brace custom built for us here. It bolts into place with longer hardware. It's on the outside. The stock skid has a brace on the inside. It's not very long, so we made a much thicker, much longer brace. And what that does for us is keeps failures to a minimum on the racetrack. Let's say during the first heat, the rider tail lands something hard. Rather than bending the skid and coming back to the trailer and we have to replace the skid between rounds, the brace keeps the rails nice and straight, so we're still ready to go for the next heat. This is Nathan McConnell at Warner Racing. Thank you for joining me on Makita Shop Talk.
Pro Light final action up next here at the Pertec Snocross National. A look at our starting front row.
Now, Jordan LaBelle, the number 511, was too tough to tame in the opening round. We'll see if he can carry that into the second.
And some stout talent on the back row, including Carson Allred and Anson Shield. For a pre-race update, here's Josie.
One thing that never changes about this pro light class is the amount of competition. Around 30 guys going in for 15 spots that the final has. One thing Nick Lorenz said earlier today is that there's a lot going on, but I think one thing that really stood out to me is that we were talking about momentum. He didn't like how his rounds went in the last round, and he said kind of coming back is what you have to do in order to stay consistent in this class. Yesterday, we saw Carson Allreed on the podium, and tonight we saw him winning the LCQ. There's always changes. You just have to stay on top of your game.
All right, it's time to go pro light racing here at Canterbury Park. Let him rip, boys. Who's going to grab that hole shot as they come squeaking out? Evan Dowd got a good start, gets it sideways. Can he hang on to it? Whoa, we've got carnage here on the straightaway, and it looks like Evan Dowd is off at the AMSOIL finish line. Another rider having issues as well. Meanwhile, at the front of the field, there's Evan. He's back up on his feet. We've got a side-by-side race for the lead. Riley Bester mixing it up there, and he is going to grab the top spot on that Lavallee Red Bull Polaris.
Beautiful hole shot for Riley Bester. Just an update on Evan Dowd. He was looking at his right hand, not sure what's going on there. We will keep you abreast of the situation, but going into the Ziegler Cat corner, look at this. We have your race leader, Riley Bester.
Just got bested by Nick Lorenz coming off that Ziegler Cat corner, so Lorenz now will take over the lead on that Hemmer Motorsports Polaris here at the end of lap number 1. Now this is a timed event. It is 8 minutes plus 2 laps, so when the 8-minute clock expires, the field will get a 2-to-go signal. And there's Jordan LaBelle trying to work his way up. LaBelle ramping around the outside of Riley Bester. He's in third, looking for second.
This timed format, of course, a rider favorite. They say it provides so much consistency in the training they're able to do, helps them better prepare for the season ahead and in between races. Nick Lorenz has been staying busy cycling and a little bit of a motocross over the summer months, but just behind him, Riley Bester being contested by last night's winner, Jordan LaBelle.
LaBelle tried to stick his nose there in, and Bester shut the door on him as they head for the Pertec doubles and back down towards the AMSOIL finish line jump. Only about a sled length in between, and LaBelle short jumps the AMSOIL finish line to get back down to the snow first, and he's going to follow Riley in and stay on that inside lane. Now he's going to jump to the outside, though, in the FXR turn, going to carry that speed and momentum, looking for the power move here. Tried to set up for the inside on that quick right-hander coming to the Air Force backstretch, but Bester holds him off, but LaBelle relentless on the charge here in this battle for second.
Wow, two very different riding styles here. Riley Bester, so much finesse. Jordan LaBelle leaves it all out there, leaves no stone unturned. We'll see what tricks he has up his sleeve here in the Skidoo corner.
And if I didn't know better, I would have said the LaBelle just landed on the back of Riley's sled, and he squeaks by on the inside. So that'll put Jordan LaBelle up into the second position. And while both of them were dicing, they were both reeling in Nick Lorenz here at the front of the field. So Lorenz now having to contest with the winner from 1 round to go, Jordan LaBelle, and here he comes on the outside.
Nick Lorenz, you've got company bar to bar coming through the U.S. Air Force corner. Jordan LaBelle makes the pass.
So LaBelle making a nice move there, coming off the corner, leading into the U.S. Air Force backstretch, and he will pull a couple of sled lengths here on Nick Lorenz as he goes up into the front of the field here with a little over 5 minutes and 2 laps left to run.
So much confidence, so many people have confidence in Jordan LaBelle coming into this season. He really solidified, backed that up last night. A rider that was a bit of a question mark, according to many, was Nick Lorenz, changing teams this year, going over to Hemmer Motorsports Polaris, but Derek Ellis, Dalton Vetch, Steve, and Nick, the entire team put together a heck of a package. He's been so fast tonight, Nick Lorenz. We'll see if he's able to hunt down Jordan LaBelle, but Jordan LaBelle extending that lead almost up to 1 3/4 seconds.
And you can see just how super gnarly this track is getting, with the holes opening up, the huge braking bumps coming out of the corners. LaBelle and that Hornet Racing Makita sled soaking up the rough stuff as he bangs out of the Arctic Cat corner, heads down towards the Ziegler Cat corner. He's pulled out about 1.5 seconds on Lorenz, followed by Bester, Cameron Anderson, and Marcus Ogamar is your top 5 right now.
Jordan LaBelle looking so strong this season.
Closing in on 2 minutes plus 2 laps here in this Pro Light final. LaBelle again putting that Skidoo through its paces. Triples his way here through the U.S. Air Force backstretch. A little further back in the field, we're looking at Marcus Ogamar on the number 58 sled, currently shown in the 5th position.
Marcus Ogamar, it's been a few seasons since we've seen him. Of course, the Swedish rider was back home racing in it. They race in stadiums back there. I was talking to him about some of the tracks. He really favors these long tracks. He says they're very similar to back home. It's been a lot of fun racing back home, but they just haven't had the fans due to the pandemic. So he said it's super excited to be back here at Canterbury Park again. Really, really favors this track, suits his riding style.
Marcus again shown in the 5th position. He's chasing after Cameron Anderson and that race for 4th and 5th. Meanwhile, Jordan LaBelle, business as usual for him here at the front of the field. Hasn't really caught any traffic in this one, and that's been to his benefit that he hasn't had to deal with any lap riders here as we close in on a minute plus 2 laps to go.
Jordan LaBelle, he knows he's got space, he's comfortable. You see him looking over his left shoulder there, going through the skidoo corner onto the front stretch. He knows he can breathe just a little bit, not too much, as he has over a 7-second lap over second. Nicholas Lorenz been staying consistent, P2. Riley Bester, bit of a gap, 2-second gap between him and Riley.
He's now 1 lap away from doubling up as a Pro Light winner in the 2022 season of AMSOIL Championship Snocross.
He's so excited, and what's so special about this is the whole family's back together, gets to be with him here in the United States. His dad, Jonathan, his mom, sister Naylee is here as well. I haven't seen his brother Dylan yet, but a family affair here down, sharing in the success here that Jordan is finding early in the season 2022.
So last time down the U.S. Air Force backstretch here for Jordan. And he has no traffic directly in front of him, so he can just pick and choose his lines, keep his focus for just a little bit longer, and he will be a 2-time Pro Light winner. There weren't a lot of those last season. Jordan LaBelle will become the first 2-time winner this season. Jordan LaBelle, your Pro Light winner at Canterbury Park. And as they make their way down across the AMSOIL finish line jump, 2nd spot going to go to the Lorenz 572, and Riley Bester will come away with a 3rd.
We'll meet our winner at the podium when AMSOIL Championship Snocross returns.
Who's going to grab that hole shot as they come squeaking out? Evan Dowd got a good start, gets it sideways. Can he hang on to it? Whoa, we've got carnage here on the straightaway, and it looks like Evan Dowd is off at the AMSOIL finish line. Another rider having issues as well. We've got a side-by-side race for the lead. Riley Bester mixing it up there, and he is going to grab the top spot on that Lavalley Red Bull Polera. And he's going to follow Riley in and stay on that inside lane. Now he's going to jump to the outside, though, in the FXR turn, going to carry that speed momentum, looking for the power move here. Tried to set up to the inside on that quick right-hander coming to the Air Force backstretch, but Bester holds him off, but LaBelle relentless on the charge here in this battle for 2nd. So that'll put Jordan LaBelle up into the 2nd position, and while both of them were dicing, they were both reeling in Nick Lorenz here at the front of the field. So Lorenz now having to contest with the winner for 1 round to go, Jordan LaBelle, and here he comes on the outside. So Jordan LaBelle will become the first 2-time winner this season. Jordan LaBelle, your Pro Light winner at Canterbury Park.
Jordan, back-to-back to start off the season, that's got to feel good. But let's talk about the technique you used out there on the track in order to get to first this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great weekend. I couldn't ask for a better weekend to start the season. My sled was perfect all weekend, and everything went great.
The competitive Pro Women Final is up next. Maylene Katoon, number 1 qualifier, winner at round number 1.
And Taven Woody, the number 873, had a tough off of the snowmobile in the first round at the stud by hole shot. She's looking to make a comeback.
Let's go trackside to Josie.
Well,
Maylene Couture winning the championship last year, coming into the last round, taking that first win. She definitely has that target on her back from the rest of the women in this class. But Iana Hager, who took second place in the last round, said she's confident and she's ready to go. That gave her that little boost that she needed, and she wants to win and she wants to go for that championship. There's a lot of girls who have a great chance at winning this year, but this race, Iana Hager is one to watch because this track fits her riding style.
All right, let's do it. Pro Women Final. The pro women charge down off the line, squeeze play, and Holshot Hauger will again grab the hole shot a little sideways, though. She's going to get passed on the outside here, perhaps as everybody makes it over the AMSOIL finish line and down toward the Polaris turn.
Wow, what a start for not only Inanna Hauger, but for Nelly Lebel, who found herself on the podium yesterday. She's hanging up there in second place, but look who we have on the outside. It's Taven Woody.
Yeah, Taven trying to move into the second position here as Nayeli will lead as they work their way down the U.S. Air Force backstretch for the first time. Where in the field is Maylene Couture? Wow, back in sixth, did not get a good start.
Yeah, Maylene Couture last year she didn't have quite the stud boy hole shot record, but she is able to make up that ground in the early paces of the race. That's what we had seen her do yesterday on the initial start, but definitely finds that speed deep in the waters here in the qualifiers as well as those main events.
So at the end of lap number one, Nelly Lebel trying to hang on to the advantage here as they will work their way down into the Polaris turn. Taven Woody in the mix running in second, and we'll have to keep our eyes on Maylene Couture as she tries to work her way up through the field. As they make the turn here, here's Inanna Hauger now working her way down the backstretch, and in hot pursuit, here comes company on the outside. That's Taven Woody trying to go for the race lead here.
Taven wants this. It's been a long time coming, putting the pressure on, keeping Inanna Hauger honest. This battle forming up front. She's going to make the charge.
What an aggressive move there, and it's going to be bar to bar for the race lead. Taven Woody, Inanna Hauger, give it to Taven Woody.
Taven Woody has been so hard at work since she was cleared to get back on the snowmobile and back training earlier this fall. She has been very hard at work at physical therapy again, sustained a major knee injury last year, just a little under a year ago in Dubuque, Iowa, but she unfortunately was sidelined all season. So if she is able to hang on to this for just a couple of more laps, that will be quite the redemption round and the comeback story for Taven Woody.
And right now, she is leaving Inanna Hauger in the snow dust. Nelly Lebel currently showing in the third position, and you can see Maylene Couture at the end of the order. She had it off and has not been able to continue.
So much heart in this race. You're seeing it now from Taven Woody. If she's able to hang on for just a few more corners, I'd be willing to bet, Paul, that this is going to be an emotional one for Miss Taven.
Absolutely, and for Inanna Hauger, if she can hang on to the second place finish, that's going to rocket her up near the top, if not to the top of the point standings after the second round of action. Taven's got to deal with some slower traffic. She'll make a move here to the inside to clear it, and now she's got clear sailing in front of her as she'll work her way to the Pertec doubles. So from being on the snow, one round to go, to being on the top step of the podium, Taven Woody gets it done and wins our Pro Women Final. Inanna Hauger finishing in the number 2 position.
The sigh of relief and celebration from the 873. You earned it.
Yeah, she is one happy camper. You can't see the smile underneath the helmet, but I guarantee you it would be as bright as that headlight right now.
You know it.
We'll meet our winner at the podium when AMSOIL Championship Snocross returns. The pro women charge down off the line, squeeze play, and Holshot Hauger will again grab the hole shot a little sideways, though. She's going to get passed on the outside here, perhaps as everybody makes it over the AMSOIL finish line and down toward the Polaris turn. Where in the field is Maylene Couture? Wow, back in 6th, did not get a good start. Side, that's Taven Woody trying to go for the race lead here.
What an aggressive move there. And it's going to be barn to barn for the race lead. Taven Woody and Nana Helger give it to Taven Woody. And getting ready for the white flag here. Wow, this would be a great redemption story. 1 round to go. Taven Woody did the big snow sample and didn't even make the restart of the event. And now she's leading and about 2/3 of a lap away from collecting a Pro-Am Women Final victory. And now she's got clear sailing in front of her as she'll work her way to the Pertec doubles. So from being on the snow 1 round to go to being on the top step of the podium, Taven Woody gets it done and wins our Pro Women Final, and Nana Helger finishing in the number 2 position.
I feel like bawling. I haven't had a win in almost since last season or the season before, so this is the first win that I've gotten in a really long time. I want to thank a huge thank you to my brother. He's busted his butt the whole entire year, so I just want to thank him. Woody's racing, my dad, Dale at D&D, Jeff, Trent, Dylan, everybody that has ever helped us out. There's so many people to thank, but thank you all, and I greatly appreciate it. We did it!
Now we're going to catch up with a rider who has faced so much adversity, more than some will face in their entire snowcross racing career. In April 2020, your Sportlight champion, racer Frank, sustained a major spinal cord injury, and doctors said he may never walk, much less ride a snowmobile again. But ladies and gentlemen, he's back.
Basically went right over my bars and landed straight on my neck, and I remember I could hear it crack and all that stuff, and I still remember even being thinking my legs are in the air when they're actually on the on my side.
So threw my bike down, ran over to him as fast as I could, and asked him, "Is he okay? Are you okay?" And stuff like that. And he's like, "Dad," he's like, "I can't feel my legs." His number one concern that I'll never forget that day was that the first thing he said is that I'm never going to race again.
Oh yeah, it's been on my mind all the time, hoping that 1 year I've said that I want to be back on my sled, at least racing, trying my hardest. And maybe I will make it to pro, it's going to be a lot of hard work and determination. Basically, they told me I'm never going to be able to move, walk, or even move my arms again. They basically said I'm just going to be not going to be able to do anything again. And I don't know, after a couple, I think it was 6-7 weeks, I started moving my first toe. And then after that, now everything's starting to come back slowly but surely.
And Racer Frank is back, taking a few laps on his comeback trail alongside snowcross legend Blair Morgan. We'll have more from Canterbury Park and the Pertec Snowcross National after this brief timeout. AMSOIL Championship Snowcross, the Pertec Snowcross National. We're just south of Minneapolis and the mighty Mississippi River.
Second and deciding moto for Pro Snowbike is up next, and no surprise that the cowboy Jesse Kirchmeier was the winner in moto number 1.
Troy Horbati has always been up there in the mix, but one to watch, number 53, Yannick Boucher.
Let's get a pre-race update from Josie.
Snowbike qualifying is a little bit different than the sleds that we see. Going into this, Moto 1 and Moto 2 scores are added up together, and that's how we get the final result. So not only do you have to do good in Moto 2, but also Moto 1. For example, Jesse Kirchmeier got first in the first moto, and if he gets second in this moto, he'll take the overall. If there is a tie, it depends on the rider who did better in the second moto, and they will take the overall. Let's see if he'll get it.
And Kirchmeier trying to grab the whole shot, but he's not going to get it. Whoa, and Boucher is down in a heap, and it's going to take a couple of riders with him. And Troy Horbati comes away with the advantage. And here's the battle for the lead now. Kurt's trying to get to the outside. Troy tries to squeeze him up into traffic here as they're going to go bar to bar over the AMSOIL finish line jump. And the Cowboy has made his way up into the lead, but Troy is going to keep him honest here as they work through the U.S. Air Force section. He's trying to sneak up on the inside of him here. Almost got alongside of him in the Arctic Cat corner. Now rocking the flannel here. Jesse Kirchmeier making his way toward the 2-to-go signal here in Moto number 2 in Pro Snowbike. So getting ready to come around here for the checkered flag. The win is going to go to the Cowboy, Jesse Kirchmeier, and he will lock down the overall in tonight's Pro Snowbike category.
Been out there on the bike for a long time, and just trying to let the nerves kind of push those back, and just remember what we're out here for, and that's to have fun and put on a great show for all these fans out here. Can I hear something from you? You guys are the best.
Our Pertec fastest lap goes to Cowboy Jesse Kirchmeier. When the Pertec Snocross National returns, it's the big show for the world's greatest snowcross racers. Strap in, the legendary Pro Final is next.
AMSOIL Championship Snowcross on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Pertec, 24/7 hydraulic and industrial hose service. By Sunoco, fuel your best. By Polaris. And by AMSOIL, runs on freedom.
It's 10 minutes plus 2 laps and they're ready to get after it. The Pro Final is next.
We saw some great racing and chaos in the Pro Qualifier. Now it's time for the Pro Final. And look at Logan Christian as the #1 qualifier, sweeping his rounds today.
And Emil Haar has put together strong performances in his qualifiers. Watch for him to make a statement in this final once again.
And some pretty stacked competition coming off the back row, including Oscar Norm, Kyle Pauline, and Daniel Benham, who just squeaked his way in. Let's head to Josie Christian before we go green.
Going into the Pro Final, this is one of our longer tracks that we'll see this season, but the riders have 10 minutes plus 2 laps in order to take home that win. In the last round, we saw Elias Ischol on top of the podium, but in his qualifying rounds, it didn't look like the Elias we're normally seeing. Logan Christian taking that #1 qualifying spot. Is he gonna get his first pro win on a Skidoo this weekend? We're also seeing Hunter Patton normally qualifying in those top spots. He is down at the bottom of the pack. This race is gonna cause some differences going on. Who's gonna get that top spot?
All right, the moment of truth is here. It's time to let the pros loose here at the Daytona of Snowcross. And we have launch and down the straightaway. Great hole shot picked off by Aki Palaya with Elias Ischol running down to the inside, trying to grab the 2 spot as they work toward the Polaris turn.
What a start for the Bel Air Racing Skidoo #128. Aki Palaya, another one, but look just to his outside, that momentum carrying outside sweeper, Elias Ischol.
Oh, and Palaya slammed the door on Elias there as they make their way down the U.S. Air Force backstretch for the first time. Adam Peterson running in 3rd as they will make their way around the Arctic Cat turn. Side-by-side action back there for 4th and 5th. Haar and Katuo in the mix along with Pelletier, but it's Aki Palaya leading the charge as they'll come around to complete the opening lap here in tonight's Pro Final.
And these guys spent a lot of time trading paint and racing with one another through the pro light ranks. And now in the AMSOIL Pro class, this is going to be an exciting one. Look who we have here, both riders taking the inside line through the Polaris corner.
Yeah, a little bit of a feeling out process here. Ishel going to try to ramp the outside lane around. Meanwhile, Emil Haar being challenged by Hunter Patnode. And again, Pelayo able to stave off the challenge from Ishel. And if these two get to Dyson hot and heavy, that's going to allow Peterson, Haar, and Patnode to catch up as they run 3, 4, and 5.
And the action we have here in the top 5, Hunter Patnode sitting in that 5th place position. He was the star of the show in those qualifiers. He did what he needed to. Some good aggressive riding here. Now we see we have Aki Pelayo continuing to hold off the number 200.
So Pelayo with about 2 sled lengths in the bank as we're just inside of about a minute and a half run so far in this 10-minute plus 2-lap pro final. Pelayo works from the inside to the outside here, trying to take that outside sweep line away from Elias Ishel. So there's a little bit of ESP going on there, being able to figure out what the person behind you is doing as they work their way back down the U.S. Air Force backstretch. Ishel will take a different line here as they launch their way over the rhythms. Peterson is starting to close in, and now Peterson's got company. Here comes Emil Haar.
You've got company, like you said. Adam Peterson, our rookie, trying to hold off Emil Haar. But a really impressive run we're seeing from Adam Peterson, what he's been able to put together this evening, hanging up there right in the mix with these pro class rookie season. Not an easy feat.
1 round to go. Emil Haar was on the podium. You better believe he wants to step on that podium again here tonight at Canterbury Park, as he is putting some serious heat on Adam Peterson, as Aki Pelayo and Elias Ishel continue to have their rolling chess match here at the front of the field. Peterson down to the inside on the right-hander, gets the launch on that Lavali Red Bull Polaris, holding off the Polaris of Emil Haar as they charge their way down towards the Arctic Cat corner. Ishel again closing in, maybe stalking Aki Pelayo here, just kind of watching the lines, waiting for the opportunity, and he senses that trying to go to the outside doesn't quite work, and he bogs it down a little bit in the snow, and that buys Pelayo about 3 sled lengths.
These Skidoo machines have been undeniable here this weekend at Canterbury Park. That is the case once again here in the early paces. We have the caution flag out just ahead of the FXR turn.
Yeah, it looks like one of the sleds in trouble there down on the inside edge of the track. Now they can go back to racing once they're past the incident here. Pelayo again holding Elias Ishel at bay. And it looks like Hunter Patnode has had an issue, so he is out of contention in this one. Unfortunately, he was running in the top 5 here early on, so bad news for Patnode. Good news for Elias Ishel as he will try to pad a point lead here, perhaps with another win. He's still got to work his way by Aki Pelayo. That's a lot easier said than done.
A lot easier said than done, and at this point in the race, we still have just about 6 minutes to go, so he's walking that fine line of patience in this point in the race. You don't want to throw it away, so right now he's analyzing. He's looking, where's Aki Pelayo going, what lines is he taking, and he's going to go where he aimed. He's able to make that pass.
You can see Patnode's sled there in the background there just before the FXR turn. So unfortunately, Patnode out of the running here as we continue to watch Pelayo and Ishel running 1 and 2. Peterson and Haar still mixing it up for 3rd and 4th. Give a call out to Cole Coutu with the top 5 run right now. He sits in the 5th position as we close in on the 5 minutes plus 2 laps to go mark here in this pro final at the Pertec Snocross National.
Elias Ishel, our 2nd place rider, we have the red flag out.
So red flag being brought out possibly for Hunter Patnode situation on track. This is not what Aki Pelayo wanted to see at all. So that means with the red flag coming out, the competitors will come back to the start line and get re-racked for a restart. All right, ready for a flag restart to tonight's pro final. And there is the takeoff. Pelayo protects that inside lane. Here comes Peterson trying to make a run at Ishel, and Ishel making a run at race leader Pelayo now as they head down into the Polaris turn.
clean start for all riders, and it's Ishul who's able to sneak around from that inside line, but it's not over yet.
Here comes Emil Haar, and they are almost 3 wide as they make their way back down through the corner. Pelayo winds up back up front, then he sketches out, and Emil Haar blasts by the Viking Rocket. Haar has the lead, Ishul roaring back to his inside.
What a move from the number 31 Juggick Motorsports Polaris ride. Emil Haar, now he's chasing down your race leader.
So Pelayo falls back to 4th behind Adam Peterson, and now Emil Haar sensing the opportunity to perhaps get to the top step of the podium with 4 minutes and change plus 2 laps left to go. He cannot afford to let the Viking Rocket get away.
No, he cannot. You had seen just at the corner of your screen there that your race leader at the start of this restart, Aki Pelayo, has fallen back a few positions, currently standing in 4th, but Elias Ishul looking strong out front. So Emil Haar, he's going to need to maintain that distance here. Do not let a guy like Elias Ishul get away.
Elias, winner, 1 round to go, coming from 3rd spot to the lead about halfway through the pro final. Emil Haar with a great ride last round as well to pick up a podium position. And here is Aki Pelayo trying to get back into a podium spot here. Adam Peterson on the Lavallee Red Bull Polaris in front of Pelayo, and Oscar Norm taking advantage of that restart to move into the number 5 spot here with about 3 minutes, 20 seconds plus 2 to go.
Still a lot of racing yet to go, Paul, but we had seen, like you had said, Adam Peterson, number 3 for Dale, makes that pass around the 128. Aki Pelayo heading into this FXR corner. Elias Ishul gaining just a little bit of ground ahead of the number 31, Emil Haar.
So here he comes down off the final corner across the Pertec doubles. Twice is nice. 2-time winner in 2022. Elias Ishul wins the pro final. Emil Haar throwing a heel kick flicker across the line as he finishes 2nd. And a great ride for Adam Peterson. The pro rookie gets his first podium of the season with a 3rd place finish. The Viking Rocket picking up his 2nd pro final of the year.
We're heading to the top of the box to find out what worked for our champ when the Pertec National returns.
A great charge off the line for Hunter Padno. Ishul got it up on one ski and able to hang on to it. And Cody Cam is right there with Padno. They are going to be bar to bar into the Polaris turn. Cam takes the inside. Padno takes the outside. Give the advantage to Cody Cam. He's got the early race lead. Oh, look at the block move there. A stellar block move. And as they work their way off the corner, it is going to be at the head of the class. Cody Cam holding on over Padno with Ishul and Daniel Bent to the inside here in the Skidoo corner. So we've got battles for 1st and for 3rd happening at the same time. Here comes Emil way to the outside. You're trying to square up or run down the straightaway toward the AMSOIL finish line jump. And at the same time, Ishul triples across. He'll go to the outside as Padno goes to the inside. Comes Emil Haar. Oh, Ishul with the crossover coming out of the Arctic Cat corner. Is it enough? Yes. Ishul takes the lead and gives Padno a face full of snow dust. So the champ makes his presence felt here in round 1. Elias Ishul is your pro winner here in Shakopee. Second spot goes to Hunter Padno.
No, it's always hard when you're up there, and especially up front in the 1, 2, or 3 spot, and you have everyone tight again. Me and Aki was a little bit in front, and we're kind of going smart and like smooth. And yeah, when it starts over, it's 100% again, and yeah, you just need to focus on what you can do and pick your lines and be smart.
After going 2 for 2 in the first 2 rounds of the year, no surprise that Elias Ishul would be on top of the points.
And Emil Haar, with back-to-back podiums as well, finds himself in the runner-up position.
Hunter Padno and Adam Peterson tied behind them. You can follow along with us on snocross.com as well as all of our great social media outlets. For Josie Christian and Haley Shanley, I'm Paul Small. Thanks for watching AMSOIL Championship Snocross on the CBS Sports Network.